Good morning, just after 6 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Lots of local news. Miss Erin getting that ready right now.
Another freeze warning this morning. And what was that downtown last night? Some sort of suspicious package. And if you're looking to be a police officer, got some ideas for you.
Am I the only one in this building? Am I the only one in the studio who is not corked up sinus-wise? What is wrong with you guys?
Ooh-wee.
Yep, going to be cold again today. And just wait till the first... I haven't decided on the first segment yet. There is so much to talk about. Do you have something local we can beat up on?
Oh, yeah.
Stand by. Fletcher and Sports, Traffic, and Weather. It's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
On 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Freeze warning again this morning. Temps hovering near that freezing mark for much of the morning. Shreveport police spent part of last night investigating a suspicious package downtown. The package was left by a suspect just after 9 near a bus stop at Spring and Texas. Police shut down the area around the suspected package for almost 2 hours while they conducted their investigation. The streets and the stop were deemed safe around 10:45. No word on what was in the package or who left it. If you want to serve the community, Shreveport Police Department is hiring. Matt Parker with that.
Right now, Shreveport Police are recruiting potential officers. According to a department spokesperson, they currently have 30 applications, but are hoping for more. The department says the major selling point of the job is the positive impact you can make on the community. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A longtime educator and community leader has died. Carl Pearson, a longtime educator, former member of the Caddo Commission and the Caddo School Board, has passed away. He died Monday night. He was 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral is set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. Two of the big bills on the docket for the legislative session, raising the smoking age to 21 and the legalization of sports betting. West Monroe Representative Frank Hoffman says 6 states and over 400 cities have raised the tobacco age to 21, and the goal is to produce better health outcomes.
We hope they don't ever start at 21, but if they do, at least it's better to start at that age than it was while they're still growing between 18 and 21.
The legislation expected to face opposition in the regular session. Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the department. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the panel to override the mayor's veto. Senator John Kennedy and Congressman Ralph Abraham have filed legislation with the intent of combating fraud in government assistance programs. The Income Verification Act applies to Medicaid, temporary assistance for needy families, and food stamps. Abraham says the idea is to verify recipients' eligibility for those programs.
It simply robs the resources from those that need it the most. The taxpayers want their money spent wisely, and I don't know any taxpayer that doesn't want to help those that really need the help.
In November, a report from the Legislative Auditor's Office revealed that 82 out of 100 Medicaid recipients in a random sample did not financially qualify for the program. Two cousins have a hard time counting all the relatives they lost to a tornado that wiped out a community in Alabama. Corderly Jones and Demetria Jones say their grandparents, an uncle, and 7 cousins are all gone. It's happening already. At least 3 major radio stations in Montreal have stopped playing Michael Jackson songs after renewed child molestation allegations were detailed in an HBO documentary, Leaving Neverland. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update starting us off for today. Here's Ruben.
Starting things off looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Well, potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. What you doing down there?
Oh, I'm just returning some texts that came in after 9 last night.
So you just started like, let's start the show. No, wait, I'll do texts.
Yeah. I'm done. I finished them before the mics came on.
Really?
I'm good.
The woman who freaks out if someone does not return her text within 90 seconds is answering texts that she got last night about 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
No, 9 o'clock. I said after 9 o'clock, as usual. You didn't pay attention.
And you didn't answer
They
them
know I'm
because
asleep.
you didn't answer them because
I was sleeping.
And yet, when you text someone at 6:30 in the morning and they don't answer you within 2 or 3 minutes,
What the hell's wrong with them?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a double standard in this world, and it's about time that people started to understand that.
Do you not know women have double standards and it's allowed? It's legal? I think it's in the Constitution.
Is that right?
I think it is.
Which amendment is that?
Every one of them.
I thought
Yeah.
so. So, what did you want to talk about? You said, I've got something local first segment.
Well, I don't don't know how to talk about this because it's kind of a sad story, tragic story.
Do you know what this is?
No.
He has no clue.
Okay.
But whenever she sets it up like that, it gets me concerned.
Y'all have no clue. I was listening yesterday to some ultramaroon who was substituting for Moon Griffon, and he really came down hard on Mayor Perkins. You know, the honeymoon is over, and everything he's touching now is turning to that, and he's in a world of hurt, and the whole town's upset with him. I mean, it was really, really hugely negative. And I don't even know who this cat was. He was filling in for Moon. I don't know where he got the piece he was citing stuff from. But I thought, he's really not in touch. You know, of course, he focused on the garbage fee and how he wanted $18 and, you know, the whole city's, you know, up in arms against him and blah, blah, blah. And he started out the segment saying the honeymoon is over. And he's facing uphill battles now for his whole 4 years. He set himself up for failure, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, goodness, dude, do you really want to go out on that limb? Who's feeding you this BS? Because would you say the honeymoon is over for Adrian at this point?
Not sure he ever really got one.
He had a honeymoon.
No.
He did, from election day to inauguration. That was his honeymoon.
So his honeymoon was before he became mayor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was
well.
his honeymoon.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. There were certain people in the community that were beating him up long before Election Day and continued all the way through. And some of those rumors and innuendos that got put out there had legs that unfairly characterized a lot of situations.
I would say this to you. I would say to you that this is the first mayor we've had. Well, Ollie Tyler was kind of in this realm that did not come up through the city hall system, like become a city council member and then run for mayor
The
and be
political
elected.
equivalent of the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah, exactly. Good, nice way to put it.
Thanks. I'm here for you.
But you had Ollie Tyler, who was, a fixture in the community through the education system.
But
you have this cat.
Her 4 years in the mayor's chair were her first elected office.
Right. But she also knew the ins and outs of running a government agency. Running a government agency,
Or agencies.
yes, is a lot more different. Is a lot different than doing things in the military where you snap and they do it. I gave you an order, go do it. Well, in government, you can't really do that. You got to get council approval. You got to give notice. You got to take bids, all that stuff. So it's all new for him. And it's going to take some time for him to get used to this is how government runs.
And yet the one thing that got Adrian the most flack, the most negative coverage, was the one thing that didn't involve anyone but himself. And that was changing the insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, do you think if he had to do that over again, he might do it?
No doubt he would do that differently.
Might do it a little different.
No doubt he would do that different. At least the date on the letter would not be the 28th. The letter that went out, canceling it before he was even mayor.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have gotten to the mailboxes for a while
hush,
anyway.
I'm going to the mailbox today.
Is that your Lenten resolution?
Well, for one day. We'll do it one day at a time. And we'll see.
This is like AA.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what
Step
happens.
one.
She got her chip
But do you think
and a letter.
Do you think he's off to a bad start? Would you say he's off to a bad start? Do you think? See, we get in this bubble in this room, and we can't really see the forest.
Look, it's
for the stumps.
It's going back to the garbage thing. It's how as far as you and I living in a bubble. That originally, if you remember, that originally came to light, his $18 proposal, before the Super Bowl. Because you remember, I went to those two. It was on like conference championship day, and I went to a couple of football parties. And people will say to me, so what's going on in Shreveport I need to know about? And I said, well, there's the $18 garbage fee. Mm-hmm. And they went, the what? The what?
Yeah.
So at that point, they were still unaware.
Mm-hmm. You're still going to have a whole bunch of people who aren't going to know about it until they get their first
But
bill.
no, I said as far as the garbage fee goes, do I think that the $18 fee was ill-planned, ill-advised? Do I think it was a good idea? No, it's a ton of money, and I don't want to pay it. But the point is this: what I said, I don't fault the mayor for suggesting it. I don't think that makes him a bad guy. He's got a plan. He has his ideas. And I said, as far as the garbage thing is concerned, the whole garbage fee, from the $18 fee that was originally Mayor Perkins' proposal that was shot down by the council, to the current $7 fee from Councilman Green, Pastor Green, that they are considering, that is still being discussed, and everything else that goes along with it, all the secondary and tertiary things. We have a front row seat to democracy in action.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what we are watching, and we're watching it step by step, inch by inch, to quote those great politicians, the Three Stooges.
Yes. Well, what troubles me a little bit about this is that I know I waved the flag way long ago about the reserve fund, waved it loud and proud.
A couple of years.
And and during the campaign, not a peep was mentioned about, we need a fee or something to shore that up, or it was all talking about my first priority when I get in is to give police officers more pay. That was a big deal for him. And right now we're hearing crickets with regard to that. And you have police officers that are now starting to bubble up, getting upset with, hey, this was what he campaigned on. He got our endorsement. And where is this? We're not even talking about it.
Everybody wants to be at the front of the line.
Yes.
In his defense, he's been in there, less than 90 days.
Right.
So.
And he didn't have sanitation workers at the front of the line when he was campaigning. I mean, that wasn't,
everybody
a big
wants
deal.
to be at the front of the line when it comes to dishing out cash. And as we've said 1,000 times, we are not a municipality flush with cash.
Right.
So the point is, when you say, police need raises, we need to clean up the sanitation, it's okay. But somebody's going to have to fork over some money. And the question, and it's always...
See, I don't buy that.
Hold the thought.
I don't fully buy that,
Hold
and
the
that's
thought.
where I have a problem.
Stop right there. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Okay.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Start things off looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Sports time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Bossier Bearcats demolished Karen Pro 67-39 in a Class 4A boys basketball state semifinal Tuesday night in Lake Charles. The top-seeded Bearcats controlled the game right out of the chute, taking a 20-6 lead after the first quarter. Bossier wore down the Bears with relentless pressure. Head coach Nick Bohannon told the Lafayette Daily Advertiser that his guys practice as hard as they play. Quote, "We don't hold back. What you saw today is a lot like our practices," end quote. Bossier was led in scoring by Otis Smith with 13. Taylor Rotz had a dozen. Xavier Beasley chipped in with 11, and Jacoby Decker added 10. Bossier will play Breaux Bridge for the state title at 8 p.m. in Lake Charles. Northwestern State rallied past Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack Tuesday night, scoring 5 runs in the top of the ninth to win 8-4. Down 4-3 in the top of the frame, the Demons started the rally with 5 straight hits, capped by Hilton Brown's 2-run double that gave the guests a 6-4 lead. Austin Stiegel out of Evangel was 1 for 1 with an RBI and run scored, and Airline alum Peyton Davis scored twice and picked up a hit for Northwestern. For the Bulldogs, Bird alumni Steele Netterville was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI, and Jonathan Fitcher pitched 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. LSU visits Florida tonight in hoops. A win by the Tigers keeps them in a tie for first in the SEC, with the regular season coming to a close Saturday. We'll have the game on 11:30 The Tiger. Tip time set for 6 p.m. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, so your stance is,
you just you made the assumption we know we have to bring in more money. See, I don't buy that. I don't fully buy that.
No. What
I
said
want
was,
you
wait,
to
wait.
show me
What
something first.
What I said was, I said there's all these people in line with a great degree of justification who want raises. Mm-hmm. Sanitation workers,
sure,
police,
firemen. You bet.
The list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody, what you're saying to me is, Erin McCarty, think there is enough waste and ill-placed funding and spending at the City Hall level that if Erin McCarty took a look at it, that I could straighten things out, that we have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
We're just spending it in the wrong places.
Let me give you a suggestion. Let me give you an example. And I don't want to call it waste. I want to call it doing things that we need to see. Do we still need to do these things anymore? Okay? Let me give you an example. And I don't want to disparage anyone. And this is just a silly example of some of the things we do that I think we might need to pull back the reins on the pony and see if we want to keep him off the track for a while. Because we take barricades. This is just a silly example, okay? We take those barricades that we use for Mardi Gras. We pile them on trailers. We take them to Barksdale Air Force Base for the air show. We set them up. We go back and pick them up. And we bring them back to Shreveport. And would you guess how much money we get paid for that? Zero. Now, you're going to have those who say it generates funds for our community. It's a great economic development tool, and I get all that. But I would hazard to bet you that half the people that go to the Barksdale Air Show never set foot in Shreveport. They get off at I-20, they go down Barksdale, they go on the Air Force Base. If they're coming in from, east of here, even if they're coming in from Texas, they go across the river, they get off, they go to the air show. They never spend a dime. And I love Barksdale, don't get me wrong. But the Air Force has a budget. They have a budget for this event. Can they not write us a check? Can they not? And these are employees we're taking off their regular jobs. We don't have a huge event staff down there. We're taking these people off their regular jobs, what they do every day, and they're loading up barricades. They're taking them to, and this is one event. There's many. They just approved a bunch of them this last week. They're going out and they're doing it for some profit events too. Some events that people are making money on. It's not like the Revel or Holiday in Dixie. It's events where people are making money. They're making cash. But yet we're expending city funds, city workers, city time, and not to mention our equipment, because we're good guys and economic development matters, and I understand that. But can we afford to do it anymore? That's my issue. That's just one example that I have questions about. And you know what? I get to sit in this chair and I get to raise those questions. That's the beauty of my life. And somebody may call and say, "Are you crazy? The air show is the biggest event in our community."
So your stance, getting back to your major point, Erin McCarty in macro, if you will, is that before you fork over another dime, you want somebody going over that city budget with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes, or a brush.
And making sure that no dollars are misallocated or overspent. And it's basically the way Alan Seabaugh looks at the Louisiana state budget. We've got enough money. In your mind, we have enough money, and we're just not spending it right. That there's enough money on the books right now for police raises. There's enough money on the books right now for sanitation department raises.
I'm not saying that we have all that. I'm saying to you today, which I've said for 6 months,
just do that.
Show
first.
me something first. Show me some things you've cut. Show me some belt tightening. Show me some professional contracts that, you know what, I think we can do this in-house now. I don't think we need to hire outside counsel, or I don't think we need to hire outside engineering. You know, we just agreed to hire an engineer for the city at a salary of $170,000. Okay? $170,000 the council voted on. They haven't said a whole lot. We haven't heard a whole lot about that. So will this alleviate some engineering contracts we've been having in the past? Show me that. Go, you know what? We're hiring an engineer to the tune of $170,000. It's going to save us $600,000 in these engineering contracts we used to have to outhouse or outsource or whatever you call
outhouse.
it. Yeah.
No, outhouse is good.
We used to outhouse them.
Yeah.
We don't anymore.
No more outhousing.
I like that.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Local news just a couple of seconds away. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 eastbound near the Texas state line due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
It seems like every company information. KEEL News now.
If you want to serve the community, SPD is hiring. Right now, Shreveport Police recruiting potential officers for the July class. According to a spokesperson, they currently have 30 applicants, but are hoping for more. The department says the major selling point is the positive impact you can make on the community. A longtime educator has had quite an impact on our community. Matt Parker has that.
Carl Pearson, a longtime educator and former member of the Caddo Commission and Caddo Parish School Board, has passed away. Pearson died Monday night at the age of 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. For 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport police spent last night investigating a suspicious package downtown. The package was left by a suspect just after 9 at a bus stop at Spring in Texas. Police shut down the area around the suspected package for almost 2 hours while they conducted an investigation, finally deeming the area safe. Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the Minden PD. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the police chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the committee to override the veto. 2 of the big bills on the docket for the legislative session this spring are raising the smoking age to 21 and legalizing sports betting. The legislature, which will get together in 5 weeks, will also talk about loosening homestead tax exemptions and criminalizing aggressive driving. The town of St. Martinville will be the host of a public reading of the Bible from cover to cover today. They'll host the Bible Marathon through Sunday in the town square. Father Michael Champagne says the event was inspired by a similar event once done by the Pope.
This is going to be our 3rd time doing it. We do nonstop Bible reading. It takes us 100 hours. We have 300 lectors from around the Acadiana area, Catholic and also evangelical, Baptist, Episcopalians.
The event drew thousands last year, both locals and people passing through the area. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Senate will vote on a resolution to cancel the president's national emergency in the coming days, and it is expected to have enough votes to pass.
The president, in all likelihood, is going to get a measure that he will veto and will almost certainly be sustained. The veto will be sustained.
President Trump declared a national emergency after Congress refused to provide enough funding for a southern border wall. Hello Kitty doesn't have a mouth, but she does have a movie deal. New Line Cinema says it has scored the film rights to the animated cat from the Japanese company that owns them. And Maryland lawmakers are discussing something very controversial. They're talking about banning foam containers altogether. No more drinks or ice cream or anything can be sold in those foam containers. Many lawmakers say the decomposition problems with foam containers is causing problems to the environment. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Did you have the story in your news? Did I hear it on Fox? Where did I hear this? That because of that the HBO Leaving Neverland, whatever it is, the Michael Jackson documentary, that all these radio stations are pulling Michael Jackson songs?
Well, 3 stations in Montreal have pulled Michael Jackson music and said
So it's not
they're
this.
not going to play
It's
it
not
anymore.
this massive sort of
Not at this
nationwide
point.
response. I was going to say what? It's like the Ray Rice tape. Okay, you kind of knew that Ray Rice had punched his wife, but then the
Yeah.
video came out, and suddenly the punishment had to be worse. What has come out in this Michael Jackson documentary that nobody really knew or suspected to a 99th% degree before?
Well, he was found not guilty in the trial back in 2009 or whatever
Is there
it was.
anyone? So was OJ.
Right,
The
exactly.
point exactly. Is there anybody who can take a breath in America that really believes that OJ didn't kill his wife and Ronald Goldman?
I understand.
Is there anybody in America that can take a breath that doesn't think that Michael Jackson was a pedophile?
Right. We had this discussion Monday while you were out, and because and Matt really helped me with this, and I'll let him make the point again because it really
We got to go to. Can you hold it?
It really helped.
Can you hold it? Can you hold it?
Matt was brilliant, believe it or not.
Talk about it when we get back. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Sorry for the short segment, but that's just how we do it. Oh, FM's back on, by the way.
Oh, good.
Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 eastbound near the Texas state line due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. The Keel app, a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, so those radio stations in Canada, a few.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the digital protest stations will begin widespread if they have not already.
Well, I told Matt something about that Monday. I said, if we've got any Michael Jackson bumpers,
What do
let's
you know
pull
about
them out
Michael
for a minute.
What did you learn? Like I said in the last segment, it's like the Ray Rice tape. You knew Ray Rice hit his wife. Okay? The NFL had meted out its punishment.
Right.
But then the video comes along. And suddenly that's not punishment enough.
Right.
We can now see what he did. We must end his career.
Well,
The
I
point
heard
I'm making is-
in these interviews
So Michael Jackson, what
for a certainty to me.
What did you know? Or what did you learn about Michael Jackson other than the emotion displayed by these abused men that you didn't know before? Or is it now you just can't avoid it?
Now you can't avoid it. It's 100% believable. They were 100% believable. Their stories, told separately in the documentary, I might add, brought up facts that weird, bizarre facts that I can't talk about on the radio, like I said the other day.
So let me go back.
And so I fully believe. And one of these men was 7, Robert. He was second grade
Erin,
when this started.
what like I said in the last segment, is there anybody who thinks O.J. didn't kill his wife?
Is
there
that.
anybody who thinks that Michael Jackson's not a pedophile?
Well, you know
so
what?
now there's
Michael Jackson was found not guilty. So I
So
had
was
to.
O.J.
So
Erin.
but wait. So I had to, in the back of my mind, have a little bit of doubt. Were these people in it for the money? Was it all about the money? Did they get millions? And they did.
See, that's what we talked about. That's kind of what we talked about yesterday. Is that these guys who have gone on these HBO shows, on this HBO show, and I am not implying that they're lying. What is interesting to me is the lack of anger that they have toward their parents. I'm amazed at that.
I know. I understand that too because I was upset.
You what?
But I
you
want
let
Matt
me be around this guy.
How did you leave me alone with him?
You were my mom. Your job is to look out for me.
Right.
And
you
just
know, but
because
wait a minute.
you
All of
fought-
us say I would never have let my child do that. Never. If you hear how the moms and the dads and the grandmoms were all groomed. Michael had this plotted out.
Oh, I'm not. Look.
Oh, I mean, and he was.
Look.
He was.
You used that word yesterday.
He was a miracle worker at it.
You used the word yesterday. They were groomed.
Oh, horribly.
Okay, but you know, at some point, it had to occur to them. Wait a second. Here's a 40-year-old guy who's sleeping with a bunch of little boys in his bed.
None of these mothers believed he was a 40-year-old man. They all believed he was still a child. And he was enjoying being with children to be a child
he
again.
was a billionaire.
Exactly.
If he had been, you know what? Mom, I met this really nice man.
Yeah.
At the playground, at the park today. And I want you to meet him. And he's like just a great big child. The difference between Michael Jackson and some guy off the street who is nothing more than a sick, perverted man,
right,
is that he had hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, in the early days of sharing the bedroom and the bed, it was
their
all
parents-
watching movies. It was all watching movies and popcorn.
And their parents
and then
were,
it evolved.
And their parents were pimping out their kids, hoping what they suspected weren't true, putting it on the back burner to say the least, in hopes that somewhere along the line, something would. There's an old line about rich people. Hang out with rich people. Something might fall off of them you can use.
You bet.
That was basically it.
But my thought when I came in Monday, because I watched it Sunday night, and I was like, I just can't listen to Michael Jackson anymore. I cannot contribute one dime to his estate anymore. I cannot do that. And Matt sat back in his rare wisdom, and do you remember what you said?
I do now.
Yeah.
Well, unlike Bill Cosby or an athlete who, when you punish them and send them into exile, that's basically the only person it affects, is them and their family. When you're talking about musicians and movies, you're talking about hundreds of people who worked on a project. You're not just affecting the payday for Michael Jackson, you're affecting the James Burtons of the world, all the session musicians, the producers,
the dancers, yeah.
Everyone that was involved in that project. Like, I'm sure for the Michael Jackson live concert DVD or whatever, those dancers probably still get royalties when it airs on Access or whatever. So there's a lot of people.
That helped me realize you're not just helping and putting money in Michael's kids' account. You're still funding people who were really geniuses. I mean, there's no doubt the man was talented. No doubt in the world.
The example I always give when people have this conversation about whether you can separate the artist from the art and blah, blah, blah is Phil Spector. Phil Spector is a dumpster fire of a human being, horrible person. But if you eliminate everything Phil Spector ever touched, you eliminate some of the greatest music in history, everything from the Beatles to the Ramones. I mean, everything he touched, you have to just, can't listen to it because he's garbage.
And then I told myself after we had that discussion, I said, okay, Erin, with your big girl panties on, are you never going to watch a Harvey Weinstein movie again? Because he, like Matt says, is a dumpster fire, and he was the producer of some of the greatest movies ever made? Will he still get royalties from Miramax somehow?
What I'm hearing everyone in this room say is there is so much perversion in the American entertainment business. We have no other choice but to support perverts. Well, Michael Jackson, it's a lot of people. That Harvey Weinstein made a lot of movies. Phil Spector, he did a lot of records. So, what are you going to do? You just look the other way and send the perverts their checks.
The Weinstein and the Michael Jackson, for me, are a little bit... I struggle with those more because I think the people around them knew. I mean, there were maids in Michael Jackson and housekeepers and cooks that knew what was going on in that bedroom. They knew what was happening. And Michael called one of these boys when he was 12 or 13 and said, "The underwear that you took, where are they?" And the kid said, "I don't know. I'm not sure." He said, "You need to get them and destroy them." Instructed him what to do with his underwear because there might be DNA.
Like I said.
And the laundry, and he expected his laundry lady to do it, but she didn't do it.
From watching a bit of that show, and I couldn't watch the whole thing, at some point, you got a couple of grown men who, when they were little boys, their mothers pimped them out.
I see. I disagree.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update right now. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 eastbound near the Texas state line due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Bossier Bearcats demolished Karen Pro 67-39 in a Class 4A boys basketball state semifinal Tuesday night in Lake Charles. The top-seeded Bearcats controlled the game right out of the chute, taking a 20-6 lead after the first quarter. Bossier wore down the Bears with relentless pressure. Head coach Nick Bohannon told the Lafayette Daily Advertiser that his guys practice as hard as they play. Quote, "We don't hold back. What you saw today is a lot like our practices," end quote. Bossier was led in scoring by Otis Smith with 13. Taylor Rotz had a dozen. Xavier Beasley chipped in with 11, and Jacoby Decker added 10. Bossier will play Breaux Bridge for the state title at 8 p.m. in Lake Charles. Northwestern State rallied past Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack Tuesday night, scoring 5 runs in the top of the ninth to win 8-4. down 4-3 in the top of the frame. The Demons started the rally with 5 straight hits, capped by Hilton Brown's 2-run double that gave the Guests a 6-4 lead. Austin Stiegel out of Evangel was 1 for 1 with an RBI and run scored, and Airline alum Peyton Davis scored twice and picked up a hit for Northwestern. For the Bulldogs, Bird alumni Steele Netterville was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI, and Jonathan Fitcher pitched 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. LSU visits Florida tonight in hoops. A win by the Tigers keeps them in a tie for first in the SEC, with the regular season coming to a close Saturday. We'll have the game on 11:30 The Tiger. Tip time set for 6 p.m. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Wait. You tried. You
I
did your own
attempted it.
home experiment.
I attempted it. Yeah.
1017 FM, 710 Keel.
I just find it hard to believe that some women are gifted like that.
I beg your pardon?
And I'm not gifted like that.
Well, there's worse things that you could be
I
not.
guess.
Okay, so we're talking about the young lady named Sakoni Jones.
Yeah.
Who went to jail, I guess, a while back for. She was the one on the video. We got to go. We'll talk about it after 7 o'clock.
My experiment didn't work well.
Well, you can tell us about the experiment. And yes, ma'am. Oh, and Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser.
Our boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the 7 o'clock hour. Billy, what did you do for Mardi Gras? Have you recovered? Here's Rush on Keel.
Well, let's see. At least 4 Republican senators are expected to vote with the Democrats to oppose President Trump's declaration of a national emergency at the southern border. Now, 2 of the 4 are the usual naysayers, Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. Tom Tillis of North Carolina and Rand Paul have also said that they'll go against Trump. Now, if all 47 Democrats stick together, Trump opponents will have 51 votes. Mitch McConnell, the turtle, laid out the likely scenario. President Trump will then veto the congressional resolution, and Democrats in the House will not have enough votes to override his veto. So in the end, President Trump's national emergency declaration will likely prevail. That is, if the inevitable court cases are resolved in the president's favor. But still, it's inexcusable that at every step of the way, President Trump has to fight Democrats and members of his own party to do what Republican voters have been demanding for 20 years. Fix this broken, illegal immigration system, starting with the emergency at the southern border. Just do it, as Nike says.
Message and data rates may apply. T&C and privacy terms can be found at babbel.com/terms.
Have you ever wanted to speak another language? Whether you want to speak Spanish, French, or German, Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons can get you speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I just started learning Spanish with Babbel, and it's really helping me with my pronunciation.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? Haha, I got it! I'm amazed how confidently I speak Spanish now. I wish I had tried Babbel sooner.
Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned. No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, German, Portuguese, and more. You can try Babbel for free. Download the app or text SPEAK to 484848. Text SPEAK to 484848 to try Babbel for free. That's SPEAK to 484848.
Well, let's see. At least
When it
4
happens,
Republican
and
senators.
what happens next happens here. 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEELnews.com.
The intersection at Erie Drive and Southfield Roads dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Olmenden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Weddick, the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.
Just after 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, and local news moments away.
If you want to be a police officer in Shreveport, well, you can sign up now. What was that mysterious package downtown? We'll talk about that. And a big loss in the education world here.
Some mysterious package in your pants. You really tried that.
I really did. Yeah.
How well, okay.
Didn't work out good.
If you remember the video from about, 6 or 8 months, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
That woman has been arrested again. So Erin tried a little test at the house.
I did a little test, yeah.
And there was a mess to clean up. Fletcher in sports, traffic and weather. It's all coming. Oh, and Billy Nunn, lieutenant governor in just a couple of minutes. Fletcher sports, traffic and weather. This hour here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Shreveport police spent last night investigating a suspicious package downtown. According to reports, the package was left by a suspect just after 9 at a bus stop at Spring in Texas. Police shut down the area around the suspected package for almost 2 hours while they conducted an investigation. The streets and the bus stop were deemed safe around 10:45. No word on what was in the package or who left it. If you want to serve the community, the Shreveport Police Department is hiring for their July Academy class. Right now, police are recruiting potential officers. According to a spokesperson, they currently have 30 applicants, but are hoping for more. The department says the major selling point of the job is the positive impact you can make on the community. Senator John Kennedy and Congressman Ralph Abraham have filed legislation with the intent of combating fraud in government assistance programs. Abraham says the act would see programs verifying eligibility with federal data instead of state data.
Because we know that there has been, $85 billion at least in Medicaid spending that has been given to ineligible beneficiaries.
The Income Verification Act applies to Medicaid, temporary assistance for needy families, and food stamps. He says a recent report revealed that 82 out of 100 Medicaid recipients in a random sample did not financially qualify for the program. Carl Pearson, a longtime educator and former member of the Caddo Commission and the Caddo School Board, has passed away. Pearson died Monday night at the age of 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral is set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. The mayor fights for more police officers. Matt Parker with that.
Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the Minden Police Department. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the police chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the committee to override the mayor's veto. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
There's an effort in the coming legislative session to raise the age from 18 to 21 for those legally purchasing or possessing tobacco and vaping products. West Monroe Representative Frank Hoffman says raising the age would mean a loss of tax dollars from a decline in purchases of the products, but it will have a long-term benefit.
It's going to save billions of dollars in health care. both from a Medicaid or a Medicare, or even just private costs for people.
Lawmakers will also talk about the legalization of sports betting. Uber is apparently off the hook when it comes to blame for the first fatality in the U.S. involving a self-driving car. A prosecutor in Arizona has determined the ride-sharing company is not criminally liable in a crash in which a self-driving Uber struck a pedestrian. U.S. regulators are warning people not to use certain Claire's makeup products because tests confirm they contain asbestos. The FDA says Claire's refused its request for a recall, and the agency does not have the power to force one. Any pet could become the Cadbury Bunny. The search is on. The company's looking for an animal in their bunny tryouts. The winner will get $5,000 and, of course, be featured in the Cadbury ads. But today is the deadline to apply. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.107 FM 710 KEEL traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Juella Avenue near West 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62. And scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.107 FM 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The KEEL app is always a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Louisiana Lieutenant Governor Mr. Billy Nungesser is here. Hey, Mr. Billy, welcome back to KEEL. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How you doing?
Well, I went to a Mardi Gras parade, a big one here in Shreveport on Sunday, and I took Monday off as a recovery day. The question is today a recovery day for the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Louisiana?
I wish it was, but no, it's not.
So walk us through
how many
walk
parades
us through
and things
your
you went to?
itinerary for the last 2 or 3 days, or specifically yesterday, the real Mardi Gras. What did you do?
Well, the day before yesterday, we went to Kenner and greeted. I was Grand Marshal of the August Parade, and we greeted the King and Queen of Zulu there in Kenner and spent the morning. We walked through the streets of Kenner, and we had an event on a stage in Kenner with the King of Zulu. And then yesterday, we started early with breakfast and then the ride in August in Metairie. And I know it was cold up there in Shreveport. I know y'all were cold because I was cold and a little windburned down here in the south. So I hope y'all dress warm.
You know, Mr. Billy, there's I've got a bunch of friends who are real like down south Louisiana Cajuns, similar to yourself. And there's something that you guys do down there that we really haven't, a part of the carnival season we have not embraced up here. And it has to do with releasing the chicken. Would you, could you, see, Erin has no idea what I'm talking.
You chase the chicken, yeah.
Do you explain to folks in this part of the state what exactly that is? Because up here we don't really know.
Well, let me tell you, I've read about it. They had a big thing on CNN. It's the Mardi Gras in Mamou where they chase the chicken, and it's something that people come from all over the world to see. And I'm committed to going next year. So maybe y'all need to go with me next year. Because I've been to Mardi Gras. I was the king of the first Mardi Gras parade in Ball, Louisiana last year. So there'll be lieutenant governors before and after me. There will never be another first king of the first Ball Mardi Gras. But we have so many great celebrations all over the state. This year, for the first time, we started a mardigras.louisianatravel.com, and we started marketing Mardi Gras all over Louisiana. You see up there in Shreveport, y'all throw hot dogs, and that's not anywhere else in Louisiana. So we promoted that through social media around the country. And next year we're going to grow our footage of video, and we're going to select markets in time for people to plan to come to Mardi Gras in places other than New Orleans. And we think it's a great opportunity to grow the market all over Louisiana because there's something unique all over Louisiana, different to do.
Let's talk nuts and bolts, because I know they're telling me that the Mardi Gras is a $20 million impact on Shreveport-Bossier. Statewide, Billy, can you even guesstimate how big Mardi Gras really is for Louisiana in terms of jobs and the money generated?
Well, New Orleans said $400 million in New Orleans area. As we, have started this staycation, getting people moving around Louisiana, and now that we promoted Mardi Gras all over Louisiana, and we're doing the same thing for all the Christmas lights, we're going to start in our numbers that every year we roll out the new tourism numbers. We are now adding, which we'll get those numbers this year, what is the impact in every region of the state? Because as we grow it, we want the officials, the tourism folks, the local businesses to realize as we can grow the numbers in those areas, it's going to mean business for everybody down the line because tourism is big business now. It's not just a fun vacation. It's a lot of numbers for hotels, for restaurants, for all the specialty shops. So we want to continue to grow those regions and start capturing those numbers. So hopefully next year, the day after Mardi Gras, we'll have some hard numbers for every region of the state.
Let me move on to, a lot of people here are in the cruise, and then Ash Wednesday comes, and they're like, oh, we got to wait till next year. What is next? What is the next big selling point for Louisiana that you're going to go out and pitch? I know Jazz Fest is a big deal in New Orleans, but what else is on your plate that you hope to get these folks to come back for?
Well, we are going to be, of course, the first Tuesday after Mardi Gras. We will be pardoning the crawfish next Tuesday, and that will kick off for us, crawfish season, which is already kicked off, but we get a lot of national publicity for taking one lucky crawfish out of the Chaffalot Basin. We let him while the rest of his family gets balled alive, and we have a lot of fun with that to promote crawfish season every year. We'll be doing that in Lafayette this year. And then, of course, the fairs and festival seasons, there's several going on every weekend, and that draws people from all over. So, on any given weekend, there's so much to do. You've got the Italian-American parades coming up with St. Patrick's Day, and then we roll right into the fairs and festival season that are going to be incredible this year all over Louisiana.
Billy, I had a conversation the other day with a man from New York City. And do you know what he told me?
How did he say it again?
New York City.
I've been there.
And do you know, I want you to, you'll love this. He told me, he looked at me and he goes, "What are those bug things y'all eat?" And I told him, crawfish, mud bugs we call them. He goes, "Do you know in New York City, you can get anything in the world, anything that is served in the world to eat, except that. You cannot find crawfish in New York City." I think that's a huge selling point.
I think we need to go up there and do some promotion to bring people down here to eat crawfish.
I think that's a great idea. By the way, next year when you go chasing the chicken, I just suspect Robert's going to be good at that.
Well, my God, Billy, look at the time. Mr. Billy, it's always our pleasure. Thank you for joining us once again. It's great talking to you as always, sir. Thank you.
Y'all have a great week.
Take care.
Y'all.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Erie Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Olmenden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL. Fletch is here. Sports update.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Bossier Bearcats demolished Karen Crow 67-39 in a Class 4A boys basketball state semifinal Tuesday night in Lake Charles. The top-seeded Bearcats controlled the game right out of the chute, taking a 20-6 lead after the first quarter. Bossier wore down the Bears with relentless pressure. Head coach Nick Bohannon told the Lafayette Daily Advertiser that his guys practice as hard as they play. Quote, "We don't hold back. What you saw today is a lot like our practices," end quote. Bossier was led in scoring by Otis Smith with 13. Taylor Rotz had a dozen. Xavier Beasley chipped in with 11, and Jacoby Decker added 10. Bossier will play Breaux Bridge for the state title at 8 p.m. in Lake Charles. Northwestern State rallied past Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack Tuesday night, scoring 5 runs in the top of the ninth to win 8-4. Down 4-3 in the top of the frame, the Demons started the rally with 5 straight hits, capped by Hilton Brown's 2-run double that gave the guests a 6-4 lead. Austin Stiegel out of Evangel was 1 for 1 with an RBI and run scored, and Airline alum Peyton Davis scored twice and picked up a hit for Northwestern. For the Bulldogs, Bird alumni Steele Netterville was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI, and Jonathan Fisher pitched 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. LSU visits Florida tonight in hoops. A win by the Tigers keeps them in a tie for first in the SEC, with the regular season coming to a close Saturday. We'll have the game on 11:30 The Tiger. Tip time set for 6 p.m. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. I found this a couple of days ago, and we've had local stuff. You know, there's lots of local stuff. Well, we always do, but I don't know if you saw this or not. North Carolina considers dropping F grade to 39% for state schools.
You told me that yesterday. I find that very hard to believe.
Let me read it to you again. North Carolina considering dropping F grade to 39. So basically, if you get 40%, you pass. If you know less than half, you're moving on.
That is unbelievable.
The bar for failing test scores in North Carolina's state public schools. Wait a second. No, it's not. You said that's unbelievable. What about that? Given every trend in society today where we demand virtually nothing of anyone, is hard to believe. What about that? Do you find hard to believe?
We're just moving the bar so dang low.
Okay, but do you find that
nobody's
hard?
going to know anything?
Do you find that hard to believe? And Ms. Tinfoil Hat, do you think that might be part of a plan?
It could. It could be.
What does this remind you of? Let's assume for the moment it's not. But does this remind you of anything of recent vintage on this program? Pearl Harbor.
Oh, yeah. It does. All those Louisiana Tech kids who went to Hawaii for their bowl game.
College students, football players.
And had
college
never
students.
heard of Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. What's this Pearl Harbor place?
Didn't know anything about Pearl Harbor.
Never heard of Pearl Harbor. That really happened here. When was this?
Man.
What war was that?
So if you get a 40, you
pass?
No.
The bar for failing test scores in North Carolina's state public schools may be significantly lowered under proposed legislation. House Bill 145, introduced by the North Carolina General Assembly last week, proposes to base grades on a 15 rather than a 10-point scale. In other words, an F grade would constitute anything below a 40, much lower than the 60% mark that is the current norm. Under the new scale system, you ready?
Yeah.
An A grade would be 85 to 100. A B would be 70 to 84. When you were in school, what did a 70 get you? Got me grounded.
Yeah, no doubt.
70 to 84 is a B. A C. Ready? A C. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm gacking. A C would be 55
Oh, my gosh.
to 69. So if you know half the answers, you get a C.
You're average.
A D would be 40 to 54.
Oh, my goodness.
And 39 or lower is a failing grade. For now.
These are the kids that are going to be in charge when you and I need them.
For now. What do they do? What do they do when everybody makes a 35?
Uh-oh.
Do they lower an F to 15?
Oh, man.
To 12?
You got a 12. Way to go, Johnny.
The colleges are awaiting you with open arms and lots of student loan money. Parky, finish it up.
Well, why would we expect them to do well in actual school? The entire school year is spent training for a test that means little to nothing, the standardized test. Why would they know the information on a day-to-day test when they're getting taught, you got to learn this stuff? I mean, the whole school system's screwed up.
Yeah.
Mom, I got a 41. Oh, baby, let me give you a hug because you're so smart.
Oh, my goodness.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update for Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Gilbert Drive. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
Of information. KEEL News now.
If you want to serve the community, SPD is hiring. Right now, Shreveport Police recruiting potential officers for the July class. According to a spokesperson, they currently have 30 applicants, but are hoping for more. The department says the major selling point is the positive impact you can make on the community. A longtime educator has had quite an impact on our community. Matt Parker has that.
Carl Pearson, a longtime educator and former member of the Caddo Commission and Caddo Parish School Board, has passed away. Pearson died Monday night at the age of 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport police spent last night investigating a suspicious package downtown. The package was left by a suspect just after 9 at a bus stop at Spring in Texas. Police shut down the area around the suspected package for almost 2 hours while they conducted an investigation, finally deeming the area safe. Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the Minden PD. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the police chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the committee to override the veto. 2 of the big bills on the docket for the legislative session this spring are raising the smoking age to 21 and legalizing sports betting. The legislature, which will get together in 5 weeks, will also talk about loosening homestead tax exemptions and criminalizing aggressive driving. The town of St. Martinville will be the host of a public reading of the Bible from cover to cover today. They'll host the Bible Marathon through Sunday in the town square. Father Michael Champagne says the event was inspired by a similar event once done by the Pope.
This is going to be our third time doing it. We do nonstop Bible reading. It takes us 100 hours. We have 300 lectors from around the Acadiana area, Catholic and also evangelical, Baptist, Episcopalians.
The event drew thousands last year, both locals and people passing through the area. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Senate will vote on a resolution to cancel the president's national emergency in the coming days, and it is expected to have enough votes to pass.
The president, in all likelihood, is going to get a measure that he will veto and will almost certainly be sustained. The veto will be sustained.
President Trump declared a national emergency after Congress refused to provide enough funding for a southern border wall. Hello Kitty doesn't have a mouth, but she does have a movie deal. New Line Cinema says it has scored the film rights to the animated cat from the Japanese company that owns them. And Maryland lawmakers are discussing something very controversial. They're talking about banning foam containers altogether. No more drinks or ice cream or anything can be sold in those foam containers. Many lawmakers say the decomposition problems with foam containers is causing problems to the environment. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
My brother last night, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright.
I want to punch him in the mouth.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
Is it okay to threaten violence on the radio?
My brother Bill last night said something that
Bill.
If you know my brother Bill, this so sums up his personality. He's not exactly a driven man. But he said something last night, and I don't remember. I know what it. God, what was it? Oh! We got to talking about basically, and we started off millennials in the workplace. And I asked him if he had ever looked at that Simon Sinek video about how to motivate millennials in the workplace. And basically, if you haven't seen the Simon Sinek video, Simon Sinek is a motivational speaker. He's kind of a consultant, but he's more than that. Parky, if you can explain to everybody what he is, because I'm having trouble. I mean, he's really smart.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
And
that's a good way to
basically,
sum it
he's
up.
talking to people who are in charge of things and maybe 45 or 50 or 55 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, yeah, you look at like millennials and you think, well, you guys don't give a damn, screw you.
Yeah.
And he said, but on the other hand, if you do that, you don't have workers and you have a lost generation. And I think if you look around and you don't, I'm not saying that millennials in many instances aren't to blame for their own condition. But on the other hand, and I'm talking about this almost Allen Ginsberg sort of, we've lost, we're doomed, we're screwed, and you can look at that one of two ways. You can go, y'all are just a bunch of snowflake little babies, and I don't give a damn about you.
Right.
Or you can figure out a way to motivate someone through all of that haze of naivete and bitterness if someone can be bitter at the age of 25? And we got to talking about that. I got way off track here. And I asked my brother, I said, have you ever looked at that Simon Sinek? Because he works in a business where he deals with a lot of younger people.
Right.
And they make him crazy.
Oh, I bet.
And I said, okay, watch this Simon Sinek video. And maybe it will give you a little insight as to how to deal with people who are younger than you, who don't look at the world the same way that you do. And maybe you can help them help themselves. And he said, I haven't looked at that. I said, well, look at it. It might be interesting. I'm not going to look at that. I said, why? It might be good for not only you, but the people who work for you.
Yeah.
And he said, you know me, I don't, hold on, I wrote it down. Here's what he said. I only watch movies I've seen before.
What?
He said, I don't look at anything new. I only watch movies I've seen before.
What if there's a great new movie he should watch?
He hasn't seen it yet, so he's not going to look. That's Yogi Berra stuff.
I was about to say, did he play catcher for the Yankees?
Oh, my goodness. That's kind of close-minded.
You think?
What if there's something great?
Well, see, what the other motivation for that was, somebody else with us had seen the Green Book and said it was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, do you have any interest in it? And he said, I only watch movies I've seen before.
Yeah,
Basically,
there's always a new movie each year that you should see.
Yeah, right there for you to steal.
Absolutely.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. I should post that Simon Sinek thing.
You should.
I mean, it is absolutely brilliant. I've shared it with a bunch of people that I know.
We still have to talk about my decoupage.
I beg your pardon? Oh, yeah, that's coming up next,
okay.
I promise.
All right.
Traffic update. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Starting to see some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, where nothing's ever cast in stone.
We'll get back to my decoupage later.
Yeah, that's. I don't want to talk about that at all, but we will.
We'll make it a quick segment.
Joining us for a little bit is political analyst, LSU prof, Dr. Jeff Sato. Hey, Mr. Dr. Jeff, how are you this morning?
Thanks. About yourself?
Erin just shot me this email, and it's got your latest article, your latest blog, the opening sentence. The honeymoon is officially over for Shreveport Democrat Mayor Adrian Perkins. When was the honeymoon? What has he done? What have we done? What has anyone done to screw it up? What went wrong, in your opinion?
Well, everybody, executives at all levels tend to get this when they first elected, and certainly the Adrian Perkins phenomenon, guy coming out of nowhere. I'm sure listeners are familiar with his background, or I guess lack of it, in terms of political experience. And suddenly he's mayor of Shreveport, and people are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But we've got a couple controversial issues that come up in front of the city council, and I don't think either of them went to Perkins' liking.
Well, one of those, as a matter of fact, sort of came to pass before his inauguration. That's the insurance thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's very interesting how that developed, and it certainly seems to run counter to the larger campaign theme he had of newness, openness, a fresh way of doing things. But the way it turned out, it sure looks like business as usual to a lot of people.
Jeff, the insurance deal, does that smell like a skunk, 2-day-old tuna, or
inexperience,
or a banana that's you need to eat quick?
Or should you maybe give a guy who is learning the ropes the benefit of the doubt? And I mean that seriously.
Well, I mean, certainly, his defense is, well, it's already been done, always been done this way, even though, really technically mayors should have been bidding out the work instead of just really handing it to somebody. But just because others did it doesn't mean that it's the right way to do it. And certainly the explanations he's given have not been that convincing. There doesn't really seem to be any cost savings here. It really just seems to be grooving something to somebody for reasons that really don't have anything to do with efficiency or openness or anything like that.
The piece you wrote, and I'm quoting from your article near the end, the publicity has irreparably damaged Perkins's cultivated reputation as a new and different kind of politician. You think he's done irreparable damage to his political future already?
The whole shtick of him, again, getting elected, the thing that really got him in there was, again, the supposed break with the past. And, that image is no longer tenable. I mean, this is something that's going to, it's something that's made a lasting impression. Let's put it that way. And certainly on members of the council and maybe on the public at large, or at least the attentive public, let's say.
You're a political animal. You have a conversation with Adrian Perkins. What do you tell him to do? How can he right this train?
I think going back to what he campaigned on is saying that, again, he's a different kind of guy. He was saying that he's not one of the good old boys, brings a fresh approach. And so to actually do that, be more open in what you do. There are other things he's done or he's tried to do that tries to cultivate this image of openness, and he should continue to try to do those kinds of things. Again, this may not be entirely erasable, certainly in the minds of the council, but he can try to reclaim some of that image. And again, that's really the thing that got him elected.
You also wrote a couple of paragraphs on the proposed garbage fee. The mayor's original fee was proposed at $18, which the council said no to. Was that? How is that reputation damaging to the mayor? Maybe it was a political miscalculation, but do you think he came at it from anything other than an honorable direction, i.e., the city we're in financial trouble and we need the money?
Well, sure. I mean that's part of it, and that may be more a little naivety than anything else. The thing is about his $18 fee is that, well, this. A portion of it is going to go towards salaries or whatever in solid waste, and then the rest I'm just going to bankroll somewhere else, and we're going to use it in the future. And again, that's something that the council has objected to. Not only because it wouldn't be in an enterprise fund devoted to solid waste, but it would just be out there nebulously ready to be used for anything. And again, if citizens are paying a portion of that $18 a month, they should deserve to know exactly what it's going for instead of just some vague promises that, we're going to use it for something good in the future that may or may not be related to solid waste.
I have been waving the flag for many months now about show me something you've done to tighten the belt, to trim the budget first. And a lot of members of the public feel the same way. Are you in that camp? Do you think we need to see something done with regard to trimming spending before we impose new fees?
Yeah, I think that's a legitimate question. Again, what he's doing with this fee is there is no promise of retrenchment or whatever. It's just we're going to squirrel it away, and again, that does seem to run counter to this idea that we ought to be looking for efficiencies in city government instead of just piling on more money, and we're going to use it for something nice in the future.
Political science professor, LSUS, Dr. Jeffrey Sato. Thanks for your time.
Sure.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Your money now, just a couple of seconds away. Brought to us by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. But first, here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Gilbert Drive. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
If Shreveport Bossier is talking about it, so are we. 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
This is Matthew Lynn, the Caddo Parish Commissioner for District 4, and we love Robert and Erin in the morning.
We are Keel. 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Keel.
Right now, 35 degrees, 1017 FM, 710 Keel at 750. Your money now. .17 FM, 710 Keel Sports Time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Bossier Bearcats demolished Karen Crow 67-39 in a Class 4A boys basketball state semifinal Tuesday night in Lake Charles. The top-seeded Bearcats controlled the game right out of the chute, taking a 20-6 lead after the first quarter. Bossier wore down the Bears with relentless pressure. Head coach Nick Bohannon told the Lafayette Daily Advertiser that his guys practice as hard as they play. Quote, "We don't hold back. What you saw today is a lot like our practices," end quote. Bossier was led in scoring by Otis Smith with 13. Kayla Rotz had a dozen. Xavier Beasley chipped in with 11, and Jacoby Decker at a 10. Bossier will play Breaux Bridge for the state title at 8 p.m. in Lake Charles. Northwestern State rallied past Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack Tuesday night, scoring 5 runs in the top of the ninth to win 8-4. Down 4-3 in the top of the frame, the Demons started the rally with 5 straight hits, capped by Hilton Brown's 2-run double that gave the guests a 6-4 lead. Austin Stiegel out of Evangel was 1 for 1 with an RBI and run scored, and Airline alum Peyton Davis scored twice and picked up a hit for Northwestern. For the Bulldogs, Bird alumni Steele Netterville was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI, and Jonathan Fitcher pitched 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. LSU visits Florida tonight in hoops. A win by the Tigers keeps them in a tie for first in the SEC, with the regular season coming to a close Saturday. We'll have the game on 11:30 The Tiger. Tip time set for 6 p.m. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin got about 40 seconds. Yes,
I'll do it quick. Go home yesterday, got out a bottle of Bailey's, and I put it down my bra. I was trying to duplicate.
Stop. We'll talk about this after 8 o'clock.
We have to do a long segment on this?
Not a long segment. We'll probably cover it at about 7:20 or 22.
Mm-hmm.
You can explain how your attempt to be a shoplifter in your own home failed miserably.
Miserably. I need more of these.
I beg your pardon?
I need more of these. Give me a better hiding spot.
If you're watching video on
I apologize.
Facebook or YouTube this morning.
Can you beep that out?
Yeah, well.
I can't see the button.
Went full Oedipus. They're gouging their eyes out as we speak.
Sorry.
7:57. Here's Hannity on Keel.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Now they want Medicare for all, but that also includes you are forced into the government health care system. You will not have any choice or option. In other words, you will no longer be able to have your own private health insurance. Now they're pushing legalized drugs and prostitution and reparations. That's been the last couple of weeks. Then they want massive tax increases of 70%, the top marginal rate. And then after you pay that top marginal rate, if you're able to save anything, well, they might come back as a means of paying for free child care and make you pay a wealth tax. In other words, they will legalize government stealing.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
You know, there are more than 34 million American smokers. Now, I bet that finding a satisfying alternative to cigarettes is at the top of your list if you're a smoker. Look, I've been there before. But after many years of smoking, I finally made the switch to Juul. There's no more worrying about the way my clothes smell, worrying about what people are going to say. With Juul, everything is so much easier. Now, Juul is a vaporizer that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. When I found Juul, it was a complete game changer. Now, Juul was designed by smokers for smokers to be an alternative to cigarettes. From its simple-to-use interface to its clean technology, well, Juul has no cigarette ash, odor, or mess. So if you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Now, to discover the smoking alternative that's nothing like you've tried, visit JUUL.com/SwitchAmerica. That's JUUL.com/SwitchAmerica. And warning, this product does contain nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. It's at a standstill near Traffic Street, and it's backed up past Airline Drive right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give
No potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Miss Erin, local news, getting ready right now.
If you're looking for a job as a police officer, I've got some ideas for you. We'll talk more about that. Lawmakers have a couple of bills you might want to know about. And what was that bizarre package in downtown Shreveport?
Okay, so you're going to try to shoplift in your own home.
I sort of did.
And you can give us an update on that.
I would
how
so
long
get
it
busted.
Took you to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to talk about this article on teacher raises.
Yeah, it's an interesting subject.
Yeah, and I think my take on this will be a little surprising to you.
Okay.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour. It's right here, and it's on KEEL.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Freeze warning again this morning. Temps hovering near that freezing mark for much of the morning. Shreveport police spent part of last night investigating a suspicious package downtown. The package was left by a suspect just after 9 near a bus stop at Spring and Texas. Police shut down the area around the suspected package for almost 2 hours while they conducted their investigation. The streets and the stop were deemed safe around 10:45. No word on what was in the package or who left it. If you want to serve the community, Shreveport Police Department is hiring. Matt Parker with that.
Right now, Shreveport police are recruiting potential officers. According to a department spokesperson, they currently have 30 applications, but are hoping for more. The department says the major selling point of the job is the positive impact you can make on the community. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A longtime educator and community leader has died. Carl Pearson, a longtime educator, former member of the Caddo Commission and the Caddo School Board, has passed away. He died Monday night. He was 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral is set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. Two of the big bills on the docket for the legislative session, raising the smoking age to 21 and the legalization of sports betting. West Monroe Representative Frank Hoffman says 6 states and over 400 cities have raised the tobacco age to 21, and the goal is to produce better health outcomes.
We hope they don't ever start at 21, but if they do, at least it's better to start at that age than it was while they're still growing between 18 and 21.
The legislation expected to face opposition in the regular session. Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the department. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the panel to override the mayor's veto. Senator John Kennedy and Congressman Ralph Abraham have filed legislation with the intent of combating fraud in government assistance programs. The Income Verification Act applies to Medicaid, temporary assistance for needy families, and food stamps. Abraham says the idea is to verify recipients' eligibility for those programs.
It simply robs the resources from those that need it the most. The taxpayers want their money spent wisely, and I don't know any taxpayer that doesn't want to help those that really need the help.
In November, a report from the Legislative Auditor's Office revealed that 82 out of 100 Medicaid recipients in a random sample did not financially qualify for the program. 2 cousins have a hard time counting all the relatives they lost to a tornado that wiped out a community in Alabama. Corderly Jones and Demetria Jones say their grandparents, an uncle, and 7 cousins are all gone. It's happening already. At least 3 major radio stations in Montreal have stopped playing Michael Jackson songs after renewed child molestation allegations were detailed in an HBO documentary, Leaving Neverland. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. .101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Traffic Street, it's backed up past Airline Drive right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. A little more energy would be appropriate. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL.
Woohoo!
I can do better than that. I can go full top 40 on you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd hurt myself. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Don't forget that KEEL app is always a free download from Office Furniture Source.
Okay.
The
governor wants to raise teacher pay by $1,000 a year.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a hill to die on, but
no.
in
What's
fact,
that? $20 a week.
$20 a week.
Yeah.
Always remember, $1,000 a year is give or take $20 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So how hard are you willing to fight for $20 a week?
Yes.
Would you be willing to walk off the job? When we talked to
Jackie Lansdale.
Thank you. She said, well, that's not a bad place to start. She said maybe about triple that would be good.
Well, we now have this piece from our friend Senator Conrad Appel,
Yes.
who says it might be time to link teacher pay increases to student performance. And I don't know if that's a hugely horrible idea.
Well,
he in his piece, he says, there is no one who doesn't know that we've been ranked near the bottom in educational outcomes for as long as records have been kept.
So let me start here. The most conservative man in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. What is going to be the basis on which teachers will be measured?
That's the question. We need to know. Do we
No,
need to measure teachers on their performance?
Okay,
on students' test scores?
How do you measure
GPA?
How do you measure a teacher's performance? And do you think that the way that students are tested now is a valid way of determining how good or bad a teacher is? Let me start here.
I don't know. Teachers would say no. Teacher unions are absolutely against that idea.
Let me start here. I don't know anything about running a school district. Zero. Absolutely nothing. I know Lamar Gorey. I know him relatively well. He seems to be a very nice man. He seems to be very competent. The people who work for him, to a great degree, seem to like him and think he's doing a pretty good job.
He wants you to have lunch with him tomorrow, by the way.
I couldn't tell you day in and day out because I don't know anything about running a school district.
Right.
If Lamar Gorey is a good superintendent of schools or bad one. I couldn't really tell you when Dr. Cade Brumley was in DeSoto. I don't know about running a district. You can tell by the scores, because DeSoto always did pretty well. Caddo, on the other hand, is a different, it's a different animal.
And that's a sign of your community.
And let me explain. And I cannot think of the school, but it was one of the ones that is a traditionally failing school. And it's in one of the worst neighborhoods. And it comes from one of the, and I made this point time and time again. I think originally their score was like 55. And I apologize for not remembering the school, but not to speak ill of the school or the teachers. Maybe it's just as well. Their score was 55. And everybody was up in arms, and they were like, oh, my God, those teachers, that school, it's a disaster. It's a dumpster fire, to use Matt's term. What are we going to do? And I said, well, hold on a second. I said, given the sociological background, if you will, of most of the kids in that school, based on what they have to overcome, based on what the teachers have to overcome, maybe those teachers getting a 55 grade out of kids that maybe they're 35 kids. I don't mean numerically. I mean, maybe if maybe that's the greatest job of teaching.
Maybe that teacher did awesome.
Maybe that's the greatest job of teaching that's ever been done in the history of Louisiana, to get a bunch of kids that otherwise might be a 35 grade up to a 55. I don't know. I don't know how schools work. I don't know how they run. But I'm saying that when you've got a school that's got a 55, you can't just look at the teachers and go, they suck. There's so many other factors that go into it. And I'll repeat myself. Maybe we have to consider the possibility that getting those kids from those backgrounds, getting a 55 out of them, was singularly the greatest job of teaching in the history of Louisiana. But you know what? On the surface, you look at that 55 and you say, oh, they're lousy. They're failures.
But you know, and I'm going to make my teacher friends angry at me today, and that's okay. I don't, you know, I understand. But we need to see overall improvement. We need to see more of our kids meeting the requirements to go to college. We need to see them doing better on the standardized test. We need to see them have a brighter future. Is that all a teacher's fault? No. No, it's not. But how do you measure how well a teacher's doing? How do we measure it?
Can you measure Caddo Parish, Bossier Parish, DeSoto Parish, all with the same ruler? How do you do that?
I don't know if you can. I think that's a good point.
But that's
Should
what
you do it in parish by parish? I don't know.
That's what we're talking about. How do you judge, given the students that you have, how do you judge what is a good job in Caddo as opposed to a good job in DeSoto as opposed to a good job in Bossier? How do you judge that not only parish to parish, but from school to school?
But how do you think it's okay to open up my wallet and hand out money to every teacher. We know they're not all exceptional. We know they're not all great. There are some who could be better. Is there a happy medium to give more money to the great teachers and not as much to the rest?
When you show me a way that you can measure, I'm not saying that the best teachers shouldn't be paid more. I'm not saying that bad teachers shouldn't be, that they shouldn't be made to improve.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to come up with a better way, in my mind, to judge teacher performance other than the test scores of the students. Do you agree with me or disagree?
Yeah,
I mean, do you see my point?
But I don't know what the better way is. I mean, we can say better way all day, but the only way we have right now is student performance. And I'm tired of being on the bottom. I'm like Senator Appel. I'm tired of us being on the bottom. Every list that comes out, Louisiana is number 50.
Think of kids in terms...
I don't want to be there.
Think of kids in terms of cars. Think of teachers in terms of drivers. Okay?
Okay.
If I put you in a Yugo and I put me in an Aston Martin, I'm probably going to kick your ass despite the fact that you are the vastly superior driver. Do you see my point?
Yes, I see your point.
Okay, there's a lot of teachers out there that aren't given Aston Martins. They're not given Ferraris.
Then
They're
we
given...
need to focus on the engine and the tires, and we need to work on that.
But you've
and
gotta...
stop all the rhetoric that we spew on our schools.
But now you're talking about teachers aren't parents. And along the line, over the last X number of years, for multi-generations, the responsibilities of parents in the home. How many times?
But you're making it sound like
it's
kids,
complicated.
You're making it sound like kids from poor neighborhoods are Yugos.
No.
And kids from Southern Trace are Aston Martins.
What I'm saying is when Cade Brumley comes in here, as he did a couple of years ago, and talks about getting kids in kindergarten who have never been read to, who can't count to 10, who don't know colors, who don't know basic reasoning skills, and he said, as Dr. Cade said, in some instances you've got 5- and 6-year-olds who don't know their names. Now you tell me how you judge the performance of a teacher when they're given those kids.
But I know teachers who could get with those kids and could change their lives simply by their enthusiasm, how they deal with those kids. There are some special teachers that can reach those kids.
100% right.
Do we have the right teachers in the right places?
What I'm saying
That's another
is
issue.
that maybe, just maybe, getting a 55 out of some of those kids right out of the blocks may be the greatest teaching job of all time.
No.
I'm just...
I understand your point.
You're not going to convince
me. But I
me...
think every child is capable of scoring an 80. I
You're
think
not
all
going to
children
convince me
can.
that basing teachers pay on the performance of kids, as crazy as that sounds, is the best way to judge a teacher's performance. Parky, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to also mention, because, Cade's right, there's a lot of kids that come from areas where they don't have, parents that read to them and all that stuff. But also in those, certain schools, they don't have affluent parents who donate, where the school itself has resources like television and all the cool stuff that, some of the other schools have because of fundraising drives.
Let me say, as a political conservative, for a political conservative to not realize that some kids start school with 1 foot on a banana peel and 1 foot in the hole.
You bet.
Is to be incredibly naive.
Oh, you're right.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. It's at a standstill near Traffic Street, and it's backed up past Airline Drive right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give
A potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
101.7 FM 710 Keel Sports Time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Bossier Bearcats demolished Karen Pro 67-39 in a Class 4A boys basketball state semifinal Tuesday night in Lake Charles. The top-seeded Bearcats controlled the game right out of the chute, taking a 20-6 lead after the first quarter. Bossier wore down the Bears with relentless pressure. Head coach Nick Bohannon told the Lafayette Daily Advertiser that his guys practice as hard as they play. Quote, "We don't hold back. What you saw today is a lot like our practices," end quote. Bossier was led in scoring by Otis Smith with 13. Taylor Rotz had a dozen. Xavier Beasley chipped in with 11, and Jacoby Decker added 10. Bossier will play Breaux Bridge for the state title at 8 p.m. in Lake Charles. Northwestern State rallied past Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack Tuesday night, scoring 5 runs in the top of the ninth to win 8-4. Down 4-3 in the top of the frame, the Demons started the rally with 5 straight hits, capped by Hilton Brown's 2-run double that gave the guests a 6-4 lead. Austin Stiegel out of Evangel was 1 for 1 with an RBI and run scored, and Airline alum Peyton Davis scored twice and picked up a hit for Northwestern. For the Bulldogs, Bird alumni Steele Netterville was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBI, and Jonathan Fitcher pitched 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. LSU visits Florida tonight in hoops. A win by the Tigers keeps them in a tie for first in the SEC, with the regular season coming to a close Saturday. We'll have the game on 11:30 The Tiger. Tip time set for 6 p.m. From the sports desk of 11:30 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Okay, so the saga of Saccone Jones continues. That was the woman who about a year or so ago on video was videotaped. What was she doing? She was pilfering from a thrifty liquor.
Yeah.
X number of bottles of liquor. How many bottles did
There were 10.
10. And they
a bunch of them went in her purse.
They went into her purse. They went into her yoga pants. They went down the front of her shirt.
Yes.
She's like the Penn and Teller of liquor theft.
I was intrigued
they would go
by
into
her
the pants and disappear. Yeah, she was like David Blaine without levitation.
So I went home yesterday, and I pulled out a bottle of Bailey's.
Well, bring people an update, or give people an update, because she is. We're waiting for you to sneeze. Go ahead. No, you're okay. She
was rearrested.
Yeah.
For
I'm
shoplifting
sorry. There was
at
just something
Dillard's.
so fascinating about you, like almost
I was
choking.
getting ready to blow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
was getting
I
ready.
apologize for not talking. It was just so
I know,
awesome
that's
looking.
okay. She was rearrested for shoplifting at Dillard's.
Yeah.
And so I had to revisit her
For
video.
Putting clothes down the front of her yoga
Well,
pants.
I don't know what she did. I'm not sure. I know she
it
probably put stuff in her purse.
There's no meat at Kroger, so
Yeah.
I mean at Dillard's.
Yeah. So I revisited the video of her at Thrifty Liquor in all her magician capabilities. And I thought, I don't even think I can get one bottle down my decoupage. But I wanted to try. So I went home last night and I got out my bottle of Bailey's from my liquor cabinet. And I'm going to use a thing of Lysol, which is smaller than narrower than a bottle of
And
Bailey's.
only mildly ironic.
And I'm going to put this in my decoupage. If you're watching on Facebook, I really apologize. You might want to tune away for a minute. But I'm going to put this down there. And I'm going to tell you, there's no way to hide this. This is not going to get enveloped in the depths of my bosom. first I gotta pull this in, then I gotta put this in. This is just not gonna work. You can see,
and cold too,
clearly that I have something in my shirt, correct?
Yes.
I clearly have.
She's although you may.
I'm jealous of her. You couldn't see a full fifth of alcohol between her boobs.
What is it that you say all the time? Who wants all of this?
Yes.
Think of Saucony Jones as all of this 2.0.
And then she takes a bottle and she puts it in her drawers. Robert, it freaking disappeared. Like it got sucked up.
Can I open my eyes now?
I'll get it out. Hang on. Let me dig. Let me dig.
Where's
for
the
it.
F9?
My bad.
Leave it there till the show's
Sorry.
over. We'll call a crane.
Woo!
1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Still seeing some slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
Information. KEEL News now.
Freeze warning again this morning. Temps hovering near that freezing mark for much of the morning.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
Carl Pearson, a longtime educator, former member of the Caddo Commission and the Caddo School Board, has passed away. He died Monday night. He was 73. According to friends and family, Pearson's lifelong mission was to make Caddo Parish the best it could be. His funeral is set for 11 a.m. Friday morning at Mount Canaan Baptist Church. Two of the big bills on the docket for the legislative session, raising the smoking age to 21 and the legalization of sports betting. West Monroe Representative Frank Hoffman says 6 states and over 400 cities have raised the tobacco age to 21, and the goal is to produce better health outcomes.
We hope they don't ever start at 21, but if they do, at least it's better to start at that age than it was while they're still growing between 18 and 21.
The legislation expected to face opposition in the regular session. Minden Mayor Terry Gardner had to veto a personnel committee's vote to get 2 additional police officers hired for the department. The committee voted 3-2 to deny the chief's recommendation to hire the new officers. Gardner says officer pay is low, which makes it hard to find people to serve the community. It would take 4 votes by the panel to override the mayor's veto. Senator John Kennedy and Congressman Ralph Abraham have filed legislation with the intent of combating fraud in government assistance programs. The Income Verification Act applies to Medicaid, temporary assistance for needy families, and food stamps. Abraham says the idea is to verify recipients' eligibility for those programs.
It simply robs the resources from those that need it the most. The taxpayers want their money spent wisely, and I don't know any taxpayer that doesn't want to help those that really need the help.
In November, a report from the Legislative Auditor's Office revealed that 82 out of 100 Medicaid recipients in a random sample did not financially qualify for the program. Two cousins have a hard time counting all the relatives they lost to a tornado that wiped out a community in Alabama. Corderly Jones and Demetria Jones say their grandparents, an uncle, and 7 cousins are all gone. It's happening already. At least 3 major radio stations in Montreal have stopped playing Michael Jackson songs after renewed child molestation allegations were detailed in an HBO documentary, Leaving Neverland. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Okay, so the proposed bill, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, did you have something?
Yeah, a quick thing, real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I don't have a problem with drive-through ashes for Ash Wednesday. And I don't know why you have a problem with that. There's a local church offering drive-through ashes, Christ United Methodist Church.
Yeah.
It's on Crabapple in Southwest Shreveport.
Yeah.
You can drive through today between 11 and 1.
How does that work? They've got a window set up like
They're
Lucy
set out,
and Peanuts, the doctor is in?
Nope, they're set out in the east parking lot between 11 and 1 today.
Hope it's not windy.
You pull through,
Yeah.
and you get the ashes on your, remember, your dust, and to dust you shall return.
Yeah.
And then you drive on.
Yeah.
I have a little issue with it because I have tan interior on my car.
That's your issue?
And I'm a little worried some of the ashes will spill down onto my interior.
Now hold your head up.
Can I stick my head out the window and get the ashes?
Parky, you got your head in your hands. What's the problem?
This whole thing just disturbs me. What is the point of Lent?
Getting closer to God.
By?
Staying in your car and praying.
I'm fairly certain that's not written down anywhere,
That's not anywhere?
in the
not?
Catholic
Now,
doctrine.
there's no drive-through for Catholics.
Now,
I'm just saying that this is a Methodist church.
Let me just proffer this idea.
Okay.
Imagine in the Old Testament, I think the book of Exodus.
Uh-huh.
And Moses goes up on the mountain in his car.
Yeah.
To get the commandments.
Right.
But he's not going to get out of the car. He wants drive-through commandments. Do you have any concept of where we would be today?
I think that's a good idea.
No, it's a horrible idea.
It's about a commitment to God. You know what kind of commitment you're making to go through a drive-through to get ashes? Absolutely none.
Maybe you wouldn't go. Otherwise, this is the only way you can go.
Honestly, and I know this is going to sound horrible, and I mean no disrespect to our Wesleyan friends, if you don't have the time, if you're not willing to make the effort,
the sacrifice,
if all you got is I'm going to drive through and it's like
but if you have a service at 5:30,
it's like
if there's
wearing,
people that are working then,
no,
but they can go on their lunch break and
like
spend
wearing
5
a
to 10
T-shirt
minutes.
that says I ran a 10K and you never got to the starting line.
But don't you think it's better that people go get their ashes rather than not go at all?
Why, to show off to their friends?
No, they went to church. They got
No,
the
they
ashes.
didn't go to church. They went through the parking lot.
Well, they went to the church parking lot.
Hold on.
And got their ashes.
Maybe if
How do you feel about drive-through weddings?
Oh, I'd love that. I'm really down with drive-through funerals. Really good with that.
Well, you're a lost cause. Never mind. I
let's
throw
move
up my
on.
hands.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Before we go to break, I want you to think about something.
Okay.
When you think of the average NBA player, what do you think of? When you think of the average NBA player, what comes to your mind? To mine, in my
I don't
mind,
know any of them.
It's a really, really rich 25 or 26-year-old guy.
But are they?
Hold your horses.
Okay.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Still seeing some slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds rolling in tonight, low 40. Clouds tomorrow with a risk of a shower during the day, 62, and scattered thunderstorms likely on Friday. Friday's high warmer, up to 72. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
You just said something awesome. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. What did you just say? Busting on Erin for wanting to go to drive-through church. I said, you know what? You should get pizza through drive-through. You should get coffee through. You shouldn't get salvation through drive-through.
Aren't you for salvation any way we can get it?
Parky, what did you say?
Well, I just, was making the point that it's about commitment and that Erin and others.
It's about commitment, and maybe it's just as much about community and sharing with other people and seeing the people in your church and talking to them and understanding that. Here, let me give you an example.
I'll see the people that put ashes on me.
Let me give you an example, okay? When NBA commissioner, I want you to think of this in terms of what you were just talking about. How everything should be drive-through. How everything should be, I should go online, order my groceries. I can send my kid to Kroger, and he can pick them up. And I never have to leave my house.
Right.
So we build these cocoons around ourselves. Not only, at first it was digitally, but now in more and more, it's these literal, there's brick and mortar. It's just our own homes and our own lives. Listen to this. For NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, supporting players and their mental health is an ongoing initiative. Now you're thinking, wait a second, NBA players, they're young men, they're at the height of their physical powers, and they're all multimillionaires. What could be wrong? When I meet with them, says Silver, what surprises me is how many of them are truly unhappy. A lot of these young men are generally unhappy. While fans might presume players are hanging out and devising ambitious plans so they can play on the same team, Silver stresses that's hardly the case. I think it's a lot less calculated than a lot of people think, he says. The reality is that most don't want to play together. There's enormous jealousy among our richer players. In his observations, I want you to start thinking about your drive-through life. In his observations and meetings with players, Silver said he has discovered there are pervasive feelings of loneliness and melancholy. citing six-time champion Michael Jordan's final season with the Chicago Bulls as a paragon. He said he no longer sees the high level of camaraderie or team building that once existed in previous years. Let me ask you this, and because he says it next, and the next line is the one that knocked me on my ass when he said it.
Okay.
When you watch the players, no matter the sport, the baseball players, when you see Tom Brady at the Super Bowl, when you see LeBron get off the bus, tell me what it is you see.
They have their headphones in.
Ding, 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 ding.
They're listening to something.
So what are they not doing?
They're not chatting with each other. They're on their mobile devices of some sort.
They're in their own little cocoons of loneliness.
Yep.
If you're around, this is back to Silver, the commissioner. If you're around a team in this day and age, all you see is players with their headphones on, Silver says. They're isolated of their own making, and they all have their heads down.
That's an interesting point. I never thought of that. It's like when you go to a restaurant these days and you see a family at the next table and they all have their eyes buried into their cell phones. They're not communicating. There's no family time anymore.
Referencing a conversation he had with a superstar player earlier this season, Silver said the players' unhappiness and isolation were to the point of where it's almost a pathology. He said to me, from the time, now remember now, when you get on a plane, if you're an NBA player and you're getting on the plane, how many people are you around? How many? You've got what? There's 12, 14 guys on a team. You've got a coaching staff. You've got a training staff. You've got people who travel with the team who are there to take care of you. He said to me, Silver once again talking about his conversation with the NBA superstar, he said to me, and listen what his perception of all this is. Not the reality of being on a plane with 20 or 30 other people. Listen to what his perception of his reality is. From the time I get on the plane to when I show up in the arena for the game, I don't see a single person.
Wow.
Hold on, dude. You're on a plane with your teammates with 30 other people.
Jeez.
And what his world is, with the buds in his ears and the hoodie over his head and his head down, from the time I get on the plane to when I show up at the arena for the game, I don't see a single person. Silver says there was just sadness about him.
Golly. Unbelievable.
Wait a second.
It's sad.
No, it's not unbelievable.
It's sad.
It's not unbelievable.
It's unbelievably sad, I guess
What
I
have
should
you
say.
and I said forever? And I'm sure that people listening now see this in little email fights, these little, pardon me, pissing contests.
Right.
That people get into these email fights at work in offices 10 feet apart.
They could just as soon get up and go down and talk.
Nobody gets up, walks down the hall 10 feet to solve the problem, and they end up saying things to each other in emails that they would never say face to face.
You're so right. People say things in emails and texts and on social media they would never say to me in person.
So
ever.
When you talk about, I want drive-through ashes, I want drive-through coffee, I want drive-through pizza. It's exactly the same damn thing.
You know what I got?
I don't
hang on a minute.
No.
I've got to clarify this because I'm now told.
I'm not done.
Hey, hurry up.
When you call Kroger, when you get online, you don't even talk to a person to order your groceries.
No.
You don't even talk to a human being.
Right.
Your goal, our goal has become to avoid all human contact. I don't want to talk to somebody. That takes too long.
Right. The drive-through ashes, I'm told,
I want to go to the self-checkout.
is primarily being done for elderly folks who can't get out and get into the church. So someone drives them by, That's what I'm told the primary reason they're doing the drive-through ashes is for.
Awesome, but
and that's cool.
But that's not what you wanted. I
want it because I'm lazy.
You want it the way you want your food, the way you
Yeah.
want it. You want it the way you want your groceries. You get to the point where you don't have human contact, so that any human contact becomes annoying to you.
Even if it's good.
You don't know anymore. This guy certainly doesn't.
Oh, I have lots of human contact. I just don't like going in a grocery store.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Patience is the first.
I shook every every last hand at the job fair yesterday. Every one of them. Human contact.
Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Still seeing some slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Keel Weather Channel forecast. Guess what? Sunny and cold. Well, not as cold today. We may see the low 50s. Right now, 38 at Keel. 1017 FM, 710 Keel.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
Next week, representatives from a New York City public relations firm will be in Shreveport to pitch or otherwise shape public opinion on the billion-dollar proposed development along Cross Bayou. The developers say they need $50 million in public funding in order to get started and promise economic development of epic proportions for our community.
You know, one way you can stimulate economic development right here in Shreveport is to, say, use a Shreveport PR firm. You want $50 million from the city of Shreveport? Why are you hiring a firm out of New York? We don't have PR people here? Come on.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 1017 FM and 710 Keel and streaming live at keelnews.com.
No. Don't you
I said almost.
No, come on.
Almost.
You take that back,
He's
mister.
very close.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright, and cocoon living Erin McCarty.
I am so not. I love people. I love getting out in a crowd.
Hold on. When was the last time you went to a movie theater?
Gras. I went to see the movie before Green Book. I went to a movie theater.
Oh, you didn't steal this one?
I still can't get over my brother last night because literally that was the genesis
crazy.
of the conversation. We were at dinner last night. There were three of us. My friend Joe was talking. He said, I saw one of the best movies I've ever seen. I said, what was that? He said, I went to see Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, really? And then we got talking about something else, and I made a couple of points about it that I made on the radio. And my brother Bill, he's basically, I said, what's the last new movie you saw? And his quote was, I wrote it down, my brother Bill, and I quote, I only watch movies I've seen before.
What? Oh, my goodness. Now, that's cocooning.
That's insane.
That's
Yogi
crazy.
Berra stuff. Nobody
Yeah.
goes there anymore. It's too crowded.
Wow.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Here's Kim Commando.
It takes a lot to impress tech customers. So far this year, the foldable smartphone is generating a ton of excitement. And why not? A radical new phone design hasn't appeared in years. Should you buy one? Kim Commando with your Wednesday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by HelloFresh. Say hello to easy home cooking with HelloFresh. Get $60 off your first 3 boxes at HelloFresh.com/Kim. The largest smartphone manufacturers, Samsung, Apple, and the Chinese company, Huawei, they're all in a race to bring you the foldable phone. Samsung will probably have one for sale at the end of this year. Apple says its foldable iPhone is still more than a year away. Now, this is all very new, very exotic, and very expensive technology, 2 to 3 times the cost of a standard smartphone. Most importantly, it's widely untested. Initially, problems will be widespread. Repairs will be expensive. And for these reasons, I'll be waiting for the foldable version 1.2. I'm Kim Commando. For years, I've been telling you about my printer of choice, the Epson EcoTank 4750. And it's easy to tell you why. It's revolutionary, it's wireless, and a complete all-in-one printer that's 100% cartridge-free. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to hate to having my print jobs interrupted just to replace an ink cartridge. Now, there's no more hassle with the Epson EcoTank 4750 because it comes with up to 2 years of ink right in the box. That's enough to print up to 11,000 color pages, and that's equivalent to about 30 ink cartridge sets. If I had to go buy 30 cartridge sets, that would cost me about $1,500. I love my Epson EcoTank printer, and I know you will too. And from now till March 31st, buy any EcoTank printer at Epson.com/EcoTankKim and get free overnight shipping when you use promo code EcoTankKim at checkout.
Offer valid within the 48 contiguous states. Exclusions apply, subject to availability.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Hang on, Moon Griffon, just a couple of seconds away. That's after Fox News. Right now, Ruben, one more time.
The intersection at North Market and North Hearn Avenues dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Potential for severe weather back in the forecast Friday night and Saturday, but today we're dry with sunshine, 54. A few clouds.